everybody out there. Special shout out to the people out there with crooked teeth. You guys are the real heroes. Salute to everybody out there with crooked teeth and gums bigger than your teeth. You guys to make it through all that rough housing you guys received as children to adulthood, you're the real hero. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? We're going to talk about this is not our fight. This is not our fight. We're going to get into the main story in about, in a few minutes. I got a few stories I want to tell before we get to the main story. Get y'all in here by so when we get to that, we be nice and cooking. But I want to tell a few stories before that. Salute to the chat room. Thank y'all for joining. Thank everybody for joining. Salute to everybody up in there. Oh, Plan A Radio. What's up, DJ Show? My guy. DJ Show. What's up, Chris? What's up, Studs? Devin? I appreciate y'all for joining. B. Polly. We're going to talk about why this is not our fight today. Stay the fuck out of it. But I'm going to say it. I'm going to talk about it on both ends. We're going to talk about the historical significance. This is something that the wealthy elite, this is something that they started. And it's something that they're going to have to figure out. I'm not only going to talk about the Mexican side, but I'm also going to talk about the wealthy elite side. The white folk side. And their disdain for us that got them in this pickle that they're in right now. And why we need to sit the fuck out of it. But before we go, I was going through Twitter today. And Twitter and StubHub, the official StubHub, man, they being petty. Tonight's the first night of a Kendrick show in Toronto. And look at what StubHub wrote. They wrote Kendrick Lamar's performance tonight in Toronto. Ticket demand is spiking on StubHub. Toronto just became one of the top 5 best-selling cities on the tour based on total tickets sold. And the show hasn't even started yet. But look at the picture that they did, though. Look at this picture. They got that big stupid looking ass building up in Toronto. I forgot what they call it. That fake ass Space Needle. And they got Kendrick standing on top of it. And with the Super Bowl cheese. These cats is being petty. Ooh, they being petty. And look at this. And they know they said levels of this, several. And look at the comment stuff. This is the official StubHub. They clowning. They said ticket prices often drop as events get closer. If you're flexible, we usually recommend waiting. We see this across thousands of events, especially sports, concerts, and theater. Waiting pays off more often than not. And they're talking about how this here is an anomaly, almost. So everybody's pulled into this. Nobody respects Drake for losing the clowning contest. Ain't that right, DJ Show? That's just funny as hell. People get into having a war of words, and then they want to sue somebody. Nah, hell nah. You can't start no shit. Run your goddamn mouth and choose to engage in a back and forth. And then when you lose, you want a lawsuit? Man, that's the weakest shit I'd have never heard. What's up, Tori and Rain? That's the weakest shit I'd have never seen in my life. You lose a goddamn battle and you want to sue. Nah. You tried, you lost. Get over it. And then in the other news, before we get into it, Mark Lamont Hill's pepper spray. I was watching this on Willie D's channel. I actually had the video. I thought that was the wrong one. Let me go to my history and get the video up. Oh, what is it on Twitter? No, I think that was I think I bookmarked that on Twitter. That's what I did. I bookmarked it on Twitter. I want y'all to see this old. This they said this is an older video of Mark Lamont Hill getting pepper sprayed. Where did it go? Where the fuck did it go? Well, anyway, I'm not gonna clown Mark Lamont Hill. And make sure y'all come up in here. We'll get started on the subject in about 5 minutes. Make sure y'all come on in here and hit the like button. We're getting people in here telling some news stories before we get all the way into the story for the day. But I'm not a big Mark Lamont Hill fan, but I don't agree with people getting pepper sprayed while they, talking. We should be able to disagree with people without it going there. You know what I mean? And although I say I'm not a fan of his, he says a lot of bullshit. He says transgenders are women and no the fuck they're not. Transgenders are transgenders. But this is it right here. This is the video. This is the video of him getting pepper sprayed. They tackled her too.
I want to ask you to take a step back, please.
Is it going on y'all end or is it freezing?
I want to ask you to take a step back, please.
Is it frozen on y'all end? Is it frozen on our end? Are y'all in? Okay, I thought so. Let me
take a step back, please.
There it is. Let's watch it again. She comes strutting up, and then and then got tackled like by Ray Lewis. And his nigga instinct was good. The way she was strutting, he knew she was with the shits. Just by the way she was. Look at that strut. That's that nigga strut. And she's saying something about this is something that has something to do with sexual assault. I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know what happened, but people out there, be cool, man. It ain't worth it. Because we had that one YouTuber that got shot and killed in Vegas. But for those of you who don't know that story, there was a YouTuber who was trolling another YouTuber, was a former fan of this particular YouTuber, a black dude that was a fan of this Latino YouTuber. Somehow there was a split, and the other YouTuber that fell out with was bragging and talking all kind of shit in Vegas, all on FaceTime in Vegas, all on look where I'm at, talking shit. And the dude he was talking shit to saw him on a strip in Vegas and murked him. Don't troll people, man. Like, it's good to talk some shit every now and again, but the trolling thing, look, I don't want to see nobody die, nothing like that. But that dude, I'm just gonna be flat out. The dude that was doing all that trolling was a bitch ass nigga. And unfortunately, he shouldn't have died for being a bitch ass nigga. But leave people alone. Alright? Leave people alone. This is the end of this generation where they think people can say whatever the fuck they want. No. My dad taught me from when I was a baby. Don't play with men. Men kill. You don't know how far another man's gonna be willing to go. You don't know where the next person's wick is, how short their fuse is. Leave people alone. You do not know where people's fuse is. Leave them alone. And now that dude's probably gonna go to jail the rest of his life. And now you have two lives that are permanently disrupted. One forever, one for a little while. Leave people alone. All right? Leave people alone. So now let's get into it. Why this is not our fight. First off, Let's talk about it. Yeah, he killed that dude's wife too. That wasn't like people snap. Like we look, people are burnt out right now, yo. People are burnt the fuck out. It's a lot going on in society. Niggas is wilding. You don't know what the next person's gonna do. Leave people the fuck alone. And that's why, and that transfers into what we talking about today. We are out of this immigration fight. This is not our fucking problem. Let me do a quick recap and lay some groundwork, and then we're gonna get into it all the way. This is not our problem. People are saying things like, well, wasn't this Mexico first? Technically, yes, for 27 years. But Mexico got their ass whooped in a war, and they got paid $15 million to get the fuck out. They got the money. What your leadership did with that money is your business, your problem. But you got whooped and you got paid. The 27 years that this was Mexico don't matter no more. None of this shit that we see here, these paved roads, these cars, these airports, these airplanes, all of the industry, the trains, the Port of Long Beach and San Pedro, none of that shit was here when it was Mexico. You guys had your opportunity to build all that shit that's here. Could have been built in Mexico. Okay? But you guys are too busy assassinating your presidents that abolished slavery. Mexico decided to assassinate Vicente Guerrero, the second president, melanated, because he abolished slavery. Maybe if y'all weren't assassinating presidents and getting y'all economy together, y'all wouldn't need to come. Okay? There was a scant amount of Mexicans here in America. There were native tribes that did not identify with Mexico. The Sequoia, the Chumash, the Ohlone, the Mojave. These were tribes that existed on this land that Spanish conquistadors mostly wiped out, or they used those missions to convert them to Catholicism and keep them around. But there were still rural native tribes, the Kodiak, that were still in existence during the Mexican rule in California, that still was here up until really the 1890s. The Sequoia National Park, that wasn't settled until 1880 by General Allensworth, a black man, a Buffalo soldier. So there were still native tribes here in California long after the United States purchased this land. Y'all got your money. So get that out of here. Second, the first major wave that started to come to Mexico came in the 1920s, 1930s, during the World War I times. And then what did America do when the Great Depression hit? Do y'all know that the United States had a Mexican repatriation program where about 2 million Mexican Americans, a lot of them were U.S. citizens, were forcibly deported to Mexico between 1929 and 1936? This whole wretched ass United States of America forced almost 2 million Mexicans back to Mexico during the Depression between 29 and 36. They did this to y'all. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's right. But that's what they did. But what did you guys do in the 1940s? Y'all started the Ranchero program, where about between the 1940s and the 1960s, About 4.5 million Mexicans came back to America to pick the fruit. And they tell you it's because black people didn't want the jobs. No, that's not true. That was a job that a lot of black teenagers and young folks were like doing and did. They brought you guys in there for cheaper labor. And instead of saying, fuck you, United States, for deporting 2 million of us back to Mexico, you said all is well when they opened their borders back. That was a decision you made knowing how this country treats you. This country ain't shit when it comes to treating people who ain't Anglo-Saxon, white, Protestant right. This country only treats white, landowning, Anglo-Saxon Protestants white right, or multi-trillionaires. If you're a trillionaire, you get treated right. If you ain't that, this country don't give a fuck about you. And you knew that. You still decide to come back. It's like when it comes to relationships, you got a cousin or a family member that's in a domestic violence relationship. It's happened to me. Thank God I didn't jump in this shit. But this is happening to somebody, a distant family member. You jump in, get it in the way, man. Don't be doing that. Next thing you know, they back together. We all got family and friends that shit happened to. They over here, there's WrestleMania in that fucking house. And you do everything you can to get them up out of that environment, and they go back, and they keep going back. At what point, what do you do as a family member? You love this family. What do you do as a family member? Hey, look, man, if you got your ass whipped in round 1 and 2, and you keep going back for round 3 and 4, what the fuck can I do? Somebody said, Benito said, work less, work for less. Yeah, you worked for less. You chose to be a slave. We didn't. Own it, nigga. So you chose to go back and get your ass whooped. Whose fault is that? Yours. Because again, you could have built, like, let me give you guys an example. Do you know why these refineries here in LA exist? Right there at our port. Mexico has some of the richest oil on the planet. Do you know that Mexico sources its own oil, brings it to LA to get refined in the Carson refinery, in the Torrance refinery, and in the El Segundo refinery? They ship their oil to LA to get refined and then get shipped back to Mexico. What's stopping Mexico from creating its own refineries? Why should Mexico have to send its oil to Los Angeles, California to be refined, and in Texas on the other end, in Houston? Why does LA and Houston got to refine Mexico's oil? These are questions that you guys got to ask your country. There are plenty of jobs to be had down there if you create them. What's stopping you from creating your own cars? Why are you dependent upon NAFTA and General Motors to build cars in Mexico instead of creating Mexico's own car like China does, like Italy does? Why do you have to buy airplanes from Boeing? Why can't you create your own airplane facility and factory? You literally have your own country. Mexico is the jewel of the Americas. Make no mistake about it. Land-wise, historically, Mexico, the last 100,000 years, the greatest shit that happened in the Americas, when you study history over here in the Americas, a lot of the greatest shit happened in Mexico. From the Olmecs, the Toltec, the Aztec, Montezuma, And before then, you're sitting on a gold mine, but you're dependent upon the United States to produce things. You're sitting on everything you need to stay in that beautiful, warm climate, and you're not doing anything with it. That requires self-reflection. So, on point number one, why this is not our fight, literally there's nothing we can do. When you're dealing with people who choose to leave a house, they got a house with its own chickens, its own cattle out back, its own milk, its own resources, its own gold, its own silver, its own mineral wealth. You leave that to come work for somebody who developed theirs. Cool. But if you leave your house and go to somebody else's house, you're susceptible to that house's rules. That's just life. Same if I go to Mexico or anywhere else in the world. If you leave your home and go to somebody else's home, you are susceptible to their rules. The same way, when you leave your house and you go to your house rules don't exist at your job. What happens if you don't abide by the rules of your job? The Iceman cometh, known as HR. HR is ice. You don't abide by the rules of your job, the Iceman, the HR lady, Susan, she's coming to kick you out because you did not abide by the rules of your job. And when you go to church, you abide by the rules of the church. You come in cussing, sagging, and doing dumb shit, the ushers are gonna kick you out. The ushers are gonna put on those stupid looking ass white gloves, walk with one hand behind their back, and y'all seen that shit. You go to church, when that usher comes with a white glove, put one hand behind his back, and then look at you. It's time to leave First Bethlehem Missionary Baptist Church. You broke the rules. That works on any level, anywhere you go. And you cannot you can't lose a fight, and then after you lose a fight, get compensated to the tune of $15 million, and then come back and say, hey, I have buyer's remorse. I want it back. You sold it. Chat room, am I wrong? Am I wrong? I'm not coming at this from a racist point of view or racial point of view. I'm coming at this as a let's talk turkey, this is what happened point of view. You chose the devil's bargain. This white man in America been the devil. The Spaniard that came before him that got y'all speaking Spanish was the devil. The one that got y'all speaking English is the devil. You had a choice. Now let's go to the other side as to why this is not our fight. The reason why I'm not jumping in and helping MAGA and these white supremacists, they asked for this. people were in different parts of the world minding their own fucking business, and it was the Catholic Church that created the doctrine of discovery, saying that, you know what? It is the right that we have to wherever we go in this world, that's ours. And it was a Catholic Church that divided the world between Portugal and Spain. And nobody asked for these motherfuckers to come, but they came anyway. You gotta know that at some point, you ain't gonna be able to, if you don't wipe the people completely out, it's gonna be something that's gonna revolutionize and bring things back to this original archetype. It was your white ass decision to leave Europe and go across the world. It was the white supremacists that created things like not only the doctrine of discovery, but manifest destiny. It was y'all that said in the 1800s, it is our destiny to get from the East Coast to the West Coast. That is the destiny of the United States of America. So by hook and by crook, you made your way west, and it took a little over a 200-year period, about 260 years, for you, 1619 until about 1880. The state of Washington was completely settled in the 1890s. Even though Washington was a state, it wasn't completely settled until like the late 1890s. California wasn't completely settled until the 1880s. Y'all did that. I defend it. You take anything you take, you got to be able to defend. And even though a lot of black Buffalo soldiers helped pave the way to westward expansion, there would be no westward expansion without the Buffalo soldiers. Those are brothers that decided to fight them people's wars. They can have it. They can defend it, I should say. And then when you look at it now, let's go to now. Okay, cool. Y'all brought in all these Mexicans now. Y'all brought in 4.5 million in the 60s and another, 60, 70 million over the last 50 years? I don't know the number. Someone in the chat will help me out. How many did they import over the last 50 years? Y'all did that because y'all hate black people. And you wanted to undercut the price of labor. See, Mexicans, the reason why y'all needed Cesar Chavez to fight for labor rights was because when the New Deal was signed by Roosevelt, in order to get the New Deal passed, they made sure that a lot of the jobs occupied by black Americans were not covered under the minimum wage and job rights statutes. That's why service industry jobs and field worker jobs didn't get paid a minimum wage, because those are jobs that black people had in the 1930s. And because black people had those jobs, they made sure to cut the jobs that black folks had out of the New Deal, out of the 8-hour work week, out of minimum wage and rights. That y'all wanted to cut us out because y'all hate us so much. But then when World War II hit, y'all needed everybody to come and work in them factories. Now you needed some labor because y'all always started some fucking wars, getting in some goddamn war, killing folks. So to mind your own goddamn business, you had to go jump into World War II. I understand, the Japanese bomb, Pearl Harbor, whatever. But y'all still decide to go fight white on white crime. The Europeans, the Italians, the Germans, the English, the French. Just a big ass white on white war. Because Europe cannot go no more than 100 years without fighting. Name one 100-year period that Europe went without fighting each other. Hell, name a 50-year period Europe went without fighting each other. Them motherfuckers always fight, goddamn thugs. So because y'all want to thug it out and fight, because y'all gotta fight, bloodthirsty, y'all invited these people over here. Y'all invited them over. Y'all sent pamphlets to Mexico and said, come here. Matter of fact, we got some buses. We're going to bring you up here and y'all can work. Y'all invited these motherfuckers up here. And then that wasn't good enough to keep them on the fields. Then what you did in the 60s was Brown versus Board of Education was the worst thing to happen to black education because that was a stupid mistake that we made, allowing our children to be educated by them. You know, in the 60s, you remember, see, people don't know this. In the 60s, you could graduate high school with a full certificate to be a plumber, electrician, woods worker, machine worker, metal shop, what do you call it? Blow torch welding. You used to before 1960, 69, men graduated with these skills. Women knew how to cook and set a home. It was your corporate greed. Thank you for the Cash App, Dana Reese. It was your corporate greed that said, you know what? When Nixon got in office and Henry Kissinger, the person y'all love so much, just died back in 2023, thank God. One of the biggest thug degenerates to ever walk this fucking earth, Henry Kissinger. They decide that, you know what? Because of Americans were responding the way Americans were responding during World War II, there was too much intelligence out there. Sly and the Family Stone, you know, Jimi Hendrix, people coming together, education. Y'all said, fuck this. Let's mess up the education and let's start a war on drugs. A war on our own people, according to Barry Goldwater. The war on drugs was a war against black people and white hippies. Why white hippies? Because white hippies was listening to Jimi Hendrix and Sly and the Family Stone, and they was wanting to be around niggas. And white hippies were generally more willing to hire and do things with black folks, and they didn't want that. So they got rid of the white hippies, and the white hippies didn't fight back no more than 2 years. The war on drugs started in 71. The hippies were done by 73. So they didn't put up much resistance. But the war on black people maintained. So instead of educating us for these jobs, y'all started importing people. We need some people to work these auto body shops. We'll let the Mexicans do it. We need somebody to work the body shops. We'll bring the Russians in for that. We need somebody to work the, what do you call those things? Remember the parking lot attendants? We'll bring some Ethiopians in to be parking lot attendants. Oh, we now got this tech world? Are we not going to educate them niggas and give them a proper education as youth so that they could be good in the tech world? We're just going to import people from China, from India, from Japan, from Nigeria. And that's where you Nigerians come into play. You're only here because America decided not to educate us in those fields. America outsourced this education. America outsources education because it decided to not educate us anymore. So wherever it needed labor, it imported. And all of this was to keep black people at the bottom. Let's bring in different groups. And if you think I'm lying, just pay a fucking attention to the world around you. You think it's a coincidence that Ethiopians are the ones that got all the goddamn, well, not no more, because most of the parking facilities are automated now. But in the 90s, you don't think it's a coincidence that they had it? In New York, the taxi cab companies. In Boston, they did the same thing 100 years ago with the Irish in the late 1800s, early 1900s. They say, you know what? We done smacking you Irish around, so y'all get to be the police department. The Italians, y'all get to be the fire department. And even though it was black people in Philadelphia that invented the modern paramedics, You would think paramedics nationwide would be black, wouldn't you? Having a goddamn paramedic, somebody coming to pick you up and take you to the hospital, that was started by black people in Philadelphia, not in Philadelphia, in Pittsburgh in the 1960s. We literally created that industry. Y'all see how this shit works? Do y'all see how this works? The whole way the wealthy elite made these decisions. So since, appreciate the Cash App, Eric Henderson. So since the wealthy elite made these decisions to keep us on the bottom, let them figure this shit out. Neely Fuller said a long time ago, the price of white supremacy is going up. And it's going to keep going up. If they want to maintain a white supremacist system that miseducates his own, disenfranchises his own just because of color, and relies on outside people to come in and do the jobs you don't want your own indigenous natives to do because you hate the color of their skin, then hell, you can kiss my motherfucking ass too. You ain't got my support. Go fight. Hey, Mexicans, viva la raza, goddammit. Nigga, keep doing what y'all doing. Keep burning down Waymos and whatever. I don't know what the fuck y'all doing because I ain't seen your protests. I'm in LA, but the news got y'all in that little ass protest. Whatever you're doing, look, I ain't involved. I'm not going to condemn them. I'm not going to condemn them. Let these motherfuckers fight. Let's get it on, Jack. What's up, Jeff Brown? Yeah. Most black people ready to fight for everyone but themselves. Man, look, I'm glad you said that, Jeff, because shit. Let them fight. That's their shit. Let them fight. These people been wanting to fight for a long time. Let them fight. Stay out of it. Y'all want to fight? Fine. Go fight, nigga. Go. This little weak ass thing that they got going ain't affecting nothing here in LA. They downtown. Oh, no, they ain't got no reason to be downtown for nothing. Anywhere where there's somewhere to be, they ain't there. Because look, at the end of the day, everybody's gonna get it. Somebody said Trump is coming after everybody. Yeah. I always say this is why I say to people say, okay, black people are next. Some people say, okay, black people, you guys need to fight for us because you're next. I got a question for y'all. When were we ever subbed out the game? Name the time that black people had peace in America. I'm waiting. Give me just a 5-year period in American history to where black people were not the target of America's terrorism. Give me 5 years. Give me one presidency, 4 years. Give me one presidency that black people were not the primary target of the United States. And then for those of us mad at us for saying this, name the extended period of time that y'all helped us. Name the time your people got a seat of power and used it to advocate for Black Americans. Sam Steele says, why we fight for illegal aliens? ICE, 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 baby. I mean, name it. Somebody said divide and conquer from us a long time ago. Had you not divided from Black America, and when we were fighting in the 60s, had you fought along with us? Had you fought along with us in the 90s and the 2000s and the 2000 teens and up until 3 weeks ago? We might be a lot further along the way. But the only thing you fought for was for your radio station to play War and Tupac. That's the only time you fuck with Black people. If the only look, can we talk turkey? Can we talk the real? Can we talk the real? If the only time we can come together is when this comes on, that's a problem. The low rider. If that's the only time we can come together, the division is there already. We didn't create it. If the only time we come together is when this comes on, then there is no togetherness. It would be dope if it was. It would be dope if it was. This nigga said Ice Cubano. Baby, chat room. Am I bullshitting, chat? I'm opening up the phone line pretty soon. So get ready to call in a few minutes. But chat room. See, like, this is how racist. See, America, we got our own fight. We got our own thing that we have like Black folks. We got a whole lot that we got to fight for. This country is so petty when it comes to us. Like, do y'all remember like when Tiger Woods, for those of you who are young, when Tiger Woods, when he first started golfing, he played the Masters tournament and he broke all kinds of records. He treated the Masters like it was a miniature golf course. They changed the whole golf course and they basically tiger-proofed it. And because no one's perfect, the areas of Tiger Woods' game where he was lacking, like his long ball, so his long ball wasn't the best. So they extended the fairways. Everything that Tiger Woods wasn't great at, they designed the Masters golf course, redesigned it to basically so he couldn't win. And he still came back and won that motherfucker. That's how petty this country is. This country's so petty. Look at this news that was announced today. This was announced today. The Grammys, the Academy Award announces starting in 2026 that the best country album will be split into two categories. Best contemporary country album, best traditional country album. Wow. This comes on the heels of Beyonce winning the first country Grammy of the year. And ask yourself, chat room, who do you think is going to be traditional? black people literally created country music. But they know you got Beyonce, they know you got K. Michelle, they know you got Kiki Wyatt. It's so many black people coming back to country now. Because this isn't just about Beyonce. They see that they're reading the tea leaves. They see all of these black artists coming back into country music. And so they're saying, oh boy, we still got to find a way to award a mediocre white person. So let's split the categories just in case niggas keep doing country music. Do you guys know? Let me teach you some real quick history. Do you know this is the father of country music right here? DeFord Bailey. When the genre of country music was being, when you're looking at the early white Jimmy Rogers was trying to sound like DeFord Bailey. The Carter family, they were sounding like DeFord Bailey. He was the one, the original crop of country artists were trying to sound like. Ask yourself, chat room, when was the last time you heard DeFord Bailey's name? And if they're going to have a traditional country Grammy art category, shouldn't it be from the people who traditionally created it? Yeah, you never hear DeFord Bailey's name, do you? So that's why this is what we're dealing with in America. We got a lot of fights to fight. We got our own. We got our own shills that we got to deal with. Like this here. Where did it go? I think I got rid of it. Did I get rid of that bookmark? I think I got rid of that bookmark. Damn it. Oh, this was the Latinos calling.
Hey, nigga, fuck your family, fuck your kids, nigga. That's how I sleep comfortably because of you.
He be fucking getting a whole fucking plate. He be fucking expecting us to give us a whole fucking shit.
Latinos
that
calling
nigga
the
right
black
there.
officer.
Do you go to Kava?
His fucking mom. Yeah, you do, nigga. Stop playing. Yeah, you do. Nigga, act like I don't know your fucking face. Stop fucking playing. Fucking talking about, can I get a fucking discount? Can I get a fucking this? Can I get a fucking that? That nigga right there. Point that shit at him right there.
You see how they got a chance to be racist? While they're protesting getting kicked out of the country, but they got time to be racist and call the black officer a nigga. This is why we ain't in this fight. We got niggas like Chuck D. People that detach hip hop from the Caribbean and African community are leading into racism. No, the fuck we ain't. Chuck D. How in the hell you gonna detach something from somebody that didn't create nothing? When we say unequivocally, these were the Americans that did it first, that everybody copied off of. We got our own highly paid Democrat niggas saying, don't do it so I can keep getting paid. The fuck are you talking about? Everywhere we look, we got our own shit that we dealing with. And of course, and look, Trump is already coming for us, yo. That's what do y'all think that Doge thing was, coming after them government jobs? What did Dr. Claude Anderson tell us in Black Labor, White Wealth 30 years ago? It said the black middle class is primarily made up of black people with government jobs. The majority of the black middle class is black people with government jobs. When he did all them layoffs early this year, It was a lot of black people that lost their jobs. You seen those stories about black women losing their jobs. Like, black women are losing jobs right now at a higher rate than anybody else in America. Is anybody crying for that? Black people get the least amount of government contracts. Nowhere near in proportion to our amount of the amount of us here in this country. Is anybody crying for that? Cisco Bell said, damn it, Chuck, what is it with the NYC dudes? Who's crying for us? Who's crying for us? Who's fighting for us? Nigga Rocky back here knocked out. Look at this. I just put up these two articles I want y'all to look at. We're talking about black women losing jobs. It says here, according to newly released data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, black women experienced the steepest job loss of any demographic group in April, shedding 106,000 jobs. The April report shows a significant setback for black women in the labor market, even as the U.S. economy added 177,000 jobs and the national unemployment rate held steady at 4.2%. The number of employed black women dropped from 10.3 to 10.2 in April, a full percentage point. So right now, this is what black people are dealing with. This is what we're dealing with. In February, from February to April 2025, black women experienced a net loss of 304,000 jobs. Trump is already coming for us. Black people, they're not going to package this in a nice story the way they are for the Latinos. Oh, no, they're just fighting their hard workers. They just want to stay. You literally got Maxine Waters looking like a Fraggle Rock character fighting for immigration. When we were trying to do our reparation stuff a couple months ago, she was nowhere to be found. You got that Fraggle Rock looking character out there fighting for goddamn immigration and their jobs. But 250,000 black women just lost theirs and no one said a motherfucking word. The media is not gonna package this for us in a cute way. We gotta see shit happen on our own in real time. The phone lines are now open, 323-744-7425. 323-744-7425. Somebody said, you let the system divide us with color. I didn't let the system do shit, motherfucker. I was born into this. How about you ask yourself how the system down in Mexico works? They divide that, the color, when we talk about color code division, look no further than Mexico. When was the last time you seen a prominent Afro-Latina do anything? I'll wait. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from? I heard heard you. Did you hang up?
Hello?
What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
I'm B from Baltimore.
B from Baltimore. What's on your mind?
I'm listening to you. I'm just trying to find out when it is going to be our fight.
Wait, what did you say? Say it again?
When is it going to be our fight? Like you're saying it's not our fight. When is it going to be? What is it going to take for it to be our fight?
What's wrong with just sitting your ass down?
Well, the sitting down part ain't working because the thing is he's gotten too strong.
Question.
Like, I was
Question.
with you.
When has fighting worked? For somebody else? When has us fighting for somebody else worked? For us.
It worked for BLM?
That wasn't BLM. BLM was George Soros, and it didn't work. Everything
No,
BLM.
that wasn't. No.
You know what BLM got? BLM got painted sidewalks. That's what BLM got us.
No, laws got changed. They couldn't choke people no more. The
What do you mean
police
they
went to
couldn't choke
jail.
people? They just choked somebody 2 weeks ago. They still choke people.
They choked somebody 2 weeks ago because the felon came in and changed the law to where though they got police immunity.
No. The George, do you know that the immaterial law? Do you know that benefits transgenders? That's a transgender. That's now that law makes it to where now if someone that's transgender kisses you and you call them the F word or the tranny word, you now get a federal hate crime law. That's what the immaterial anti-lynching law did. What are you talking about? No one gets lynched anymore.
It's not.
Why is the law against lynching when people are getting shot?
If you look it up, it changed the law when the BLM problem.
I'm telling you what they can. I'm telling you the law. I'm telling you the law.
They had George.
The immaterial law.
Even if I take that, okay, you want to stand for the? Okay, we stand for the blast, okay. We already dealt with the DEI, okay.
Who's DEI benefiting from?
It ain't us because mostly black women lost their jobs.
Thank you. So again, where do we benefit fighting for other people?
So that's an attack on blacks, right? DEI was an attack on blacks. Okay.
No, it wasn't.
DEI
was an attack on white women and non-blacks because we don't benefit from DEI.
But it is more of an attack on us.
No, it's not. If we don't benefit from it, how is it an attack on us?
The white people got mad.
Calm down. I'm gonna mute you. No, because we gotta go slowly. One thing people like you like to do is throw a whole lot of shit out there, and then we get proved wrong. Throw some more shit out there. We're not going to let that happen. We're going to deal with things. No, calm down. You're muted. They can't hear you. I'll unmute you when you calm down. I'll unmute you when you calm down. So what you have to do is we're going to take what you say case by case, point by point. Oh, he hung up because he's a hoe. DEI benefits immigrants, white people, and non-black people. Again, fighting for some shit that don't benefit you. I need somebody to tell me when fighting for other people benefited black people, where we got the lion's share of the tangible benefits. That's what I need. What's up, caller? Where you calling from?
What's going on, man? I'm from Arkansas.
What's on your mind, brother?
My name is D. I'm going to tell you point blank, and this is the truth. In this situation, we need to mind our business. Because when it comes down to it, I don't know, you probably old enough to remember. Remember when they had on South Park, when they had Operation Black Front?
Yeah.
Where they had all the black people in front?
Yep.
And they thought they were going to use them as a shield, and Chef was like, bull B, I'm out of here. This is the same situation. They always want to use us as the front shield. Because I'm originally from L.A., and I know for a fact, when it goes down with us as black individuals, those Latin people, those Hispanic people, those Mexicans, they stand on the side and look at us. And we'll form with the white people if it gets big enough. Now they want us to be Operation Shield. That's not true. I'm not doing it. That's not our fight. The point of the fact is, now you want to be us black and brown be together. What? What are you talking about? It's always they want us to be the whipping boys for everybody's struggle. That's your struggle. Go fight it.
And you know what happened one time? You from LA. I was there. This 2016, sometime around there, 16, 17, 18, sometime around there. Some white supremacists threatened Maxine Waters in her office over on 108th and Broadway.
I remember that.
I don't even like Maxine Waters. Don't fuck with her at all. But the whole point of having white supremacists come down to where I was raised That wasn't happening. So when we went to her
Oh, no.
offices, when she was threatened, mind you, that neighborhood is now 70% Mexican. The
Yes, it
only
is.
people standing in front of Maxine Waters' office was black people. They came down with Trump flags. They came down in their pickup trucks and they Silverados, and black folks whooped their monkey asses up off the motherfucking block, and wasn't nobody there, even though that neighborhood is 70% Mexican. That's real.
And that's the truth. And the thing about it is it's united. It's what's the word I want to use? It's let's be all kumbaya, and we're the same minority when it's time for a fight. But when it's not time for a fight, oh, I've had too many Mexicans call me niggas to my face in L.A. Plenty of times. Man. So it's all a front. It's all just hey. It's like I said, it's South Pardo again. Operation Black Shield.
Real talk, man. Thanks for giving us a call. I got to take this next call. Thanks.
All right, man.
What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Pasadena. Called in before. My battery's low. Hopefully, I don't go out.
What's on your mind, brother?
But yeah, well, it's just funny. This like conversations like kind of, I guess like a new thing because I'm from out here, so this shit's like, you know, I guess it just wasn't broadcasted. But my fault. I was just eating some stuff. I just saw your show, but it's just funny, bro. These got to be some of the most hypocritical people I've like ever seen, bro. Because it's like, how do you claim you're oppressed when you got like all the city jobs lined up? You don't hire nobody else, but specifically niggas though. Like as far as the schools go, like my mom's worked at Locke and Fremont, like all them schools and shit. So it's like they make sure our kids get on like, you know, the fucking drugs and shit in order to be on the programs or benefits or whatever. But they get looked out for. As far as police, they got like all the goddamn racist gang members and shit who be targeting civilians and shit, like soft target black people. But we got gang injunctions on us and shit. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You're right. The Mexicans out of LA is hella rich with them with what they doing. Go ahead.
This shit is fucking hilarious, bro. Like, I mean, how could you even like have the fucking nerve, bro? Like, it's insane. Like, that shit is fucking crazy. But anyway.
You ain't lying.
So they have all that.
I got a lot of calls coming through, brother. But
yeah, they
I'll let you make one more
lined
point, then I'll get to the next call.
Yeah, they have all that lined up, but it's just like clearly just a tool to get us off. Like if we always like, you know, trying to get hit up on like every level and shit. But yeah, I mean, my bad. I was just calling through, but it's just funny because I'll be thinking like, if y'all are such geniuses and like, you know, so innovative and shit, like y'all got some good ass land down there. So clearly you're not, or it's not working out because why the fuck can't you build your own shit then? You see what I'm saying?
That's real talk, man. Thanks for giving us a call. He made a good point. He made a good point. Like, it's incredibly rich here. Callback callers. It's incredibly rich for them to fight here in LA. Because in LA, you're 55% of the LAPD. Like, I got family members that are cops. Do you know when it comes to black people out here? You got black people, if your brother was in a gang in 92, you're not going to become a police officer. If you're Mexican, your brother could be in a gang now. Matter of fact, your two other brothers could be in a gang now, and you can still get a job. That's real talk. Now you can even be undocumented and get city jobs, county jobs, and not undocumented, but not a full citizen, and still become a police officer. Versus if you black, if you ain't got a squeaky clean record, you ain't getting in. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from? You there, Colin? I guess they hung up. I will take the next call that comes through. But out here, it's like, my God, you got all the city jobs, all the construction jobs, all the contracts. When I walk through my neighborhood and I see they contracted a plumbing company, like when the city thing, because no more city workers are, everything is contractors now. When I see major jobs, major contract jobs, a plumbing pipe burst at midnight, and they need a contractor to come, all Latino contractors. Contracting jobs is generational wealth. We don't get those. What's up, Carter? What's the name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, Dwan? Can you hear me, bro?
Yes, sir.
We good? Okay. This is Robert calling from Chicago. Hey, yeah, you just made a great point about that because I'm seeing that same thing here in Chicago with these contractor jobs. And then they even starting to fill them into a lot of these city jobs now, like the bus drivers and the CTA trains, the trains and all that stuff, because we have mass transit here like New York City.
Yeah, like for real, yeah.
And yeah, so they starting to do that same thing. And then you made another incredible point earlier in the show when you was illustrating the music. You know, if that's the only time we can get together. You know what? I've been seeing this for years in the sports arena. Baseball, basketball, football. You know, I went to a game years ago in like 2003. I went to a Cubs game and seen that, you know, up there congregating with them folks and this and that. We at the game, then you walk right outside of that stadium and you try to say something to them people act like you ain't even standing there. So it's incredible how those dynamics work. Like if that's the only time we can get together and have some quote unquote temporary unity, then there is no unity. There is no togetherness at all. So I just want to come on and say that real quick, bro. Always good to talk to you.
Salute to you from Chicago, man. Thanks for calling.
Yes.
Yeah, like look, black people, our music is dope. Everybody wants to come around with our music. That doesn't mean they like you. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, I'm Danny, calling from Vegas.
Danny from Vegas. Could you mute me in the background?
What's up, caller? What's your name?
Hang on. Yeah, I was in El Monte going to nursing school in the mid '90s, and you know, that's right next to East LA. And just wanted to bring up a point and see what your thought may be on this. But I worked when I did my clinicals in the OB unit. I would say the majority of the patients were Hispanic, of course, young Mexican girls having babies. And once the babies were born, we had to make a report, fill out all the information on the birth, and we were mandated to say that every baby was white. And when I questioned the nurses and the teachers, I got in trouble. I was like, these are predominantly Mexican births. Why are we marking them as white people? And that just makes me wonder what's happening with the statistics and the census. And I mean, I'm sure the white folks want to boost their numbers, but you know, that just makes me question a whole lot.
Yeah, it's the boost numbers and also for that money. Because I when I used to work mental health, I used to all of them had white on their driver's license. It's the booth numbers, and also for them, they think that they're white. It's like, okay, that's why I'm saying we're out of this fight. White America wants to jerk them off when it comes to having a status over us. Well, it's a consequence of that. You got to handle this. Y'all created this problem, not us.
Right.
Clip, thanks for giving us a call. I got a bunch of calls coming through.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's like y'all created this. This is what y'all wanted. This is what white America, this is what the wealthy elite wanted, and the rest of white America turned a blind eye to. Y'all can have it. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on? This is Najee from out of New Jersey. Yeah, Dewan, so I really want to, throw any shots at the caller a while ago that kind of got emotional and said, when is the time to fight? I mean, I really don't understand. Like, when hasn't there been a time to fight as it relates to Black Americans? Like, Black Americans always fought. So why would Black Americans that's economically at the bottom fight for immigration, fight for cheap labor? I don't get it. I mean, and it's like I'm not for or against it. And just like when you said the elite, they got what they asked for. You know what I mean? They went on a propaganda campaign for years, lying, saying that immigrants built this country. Now you see entitled immigrants acting a fool because y'all painted that narrative. Y'all kept regurgitating that. And even when we just talk about black and brown relations, even with black gang members, I've never heard a case of black gang members deliberately going around neighborhoods and trying to basically displace everyday working people. You never seen that. So I've heard cases like that in New York. I mean, in LA, and there was a whole high-profile case like that in New Jersey. These particular MS-13 gang members, they wasn't trying to displace black people, but they did a real high-profile killing in Newark, New Jersey. This is around the time that Cory Booker was the mayor of Newark, and they just, for no reason whatsoever, killed 3 teenagers, just random.
Yeah, they'll come after our
Killed them.
they'll come after our kids and our elderly. They did that over here in Torrance about 15 years ago. They was just randomly killing kids.
Just randomly killing
in the area that there was no black gangs. Like it was black people who lived there, but there were no black gangs over in that area. Just a couple just random black people. They killed like some kids and some old man at a park in Long Beach. Like,
yeah, just targeting black people. And I'm gonna close with this. Like, even in New Jersey, Ras Baraka just lost the Democratic primary, and the Democratic establishment, turned on him, and they backed. Her name escapes me, but they backed the white female candidate for governor of New Jersey. But somebody like Cory Booker, who is Black American, he didn't read the room. He's down at the immigration center, showing out, trying to break in there and show his solidarity with immigration. Like, that's not your base.
Yeah,
and what I don't really understand, that's not your base. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not reading the room. But what you're doing is you're running on a Democrat platform. You're not really running on a platform that's really helping your constituency. In a way, Newark, New Jersey look, because Newark is about maybe 47 or some odd percent black, and I don't understand, these black politicians don't even see what's going on in their own city when they're basically committing political suicide.
They Democrats. They more in alignment with, they think that party is going to take them further than their people, and they finding out that the times are changing. That was cool in the 80s and the 90s, but the time is changing in real time, and they don't have enough feel and love for their own people to put faith and trust in their own people. But thanks for giving us a call. I got a bunch of calls lined up.
All right.
What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from? Oh shit, they hung up. Call back. But that's what he brings up a good point. They didn't. I would give them the credit for not seeing it 10 years ago. But black folks for the last 10 years have been on some, you know what? Nah. We on some other shit now. We've been on this since we saw Obama wasn't shit. When black folks realized and woke up to the fact that Obama, 2013, 2014, 2 years left in his presidency, we realized, man, this motherfucker ain't gonna do nothing. And we started changing. So the ones who got caught up in 2016, 2017, I get it. But if you post 2020 and you still don't see what it is, your dumb ass don't deserve a platform. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Jesse Paris, aka Chan Chroma, out of Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado. What's your mind?
Same stuff over here. These must can hold their own nuts. They can hold their own chalupas. We ain't got no love for nothing that they got going on. These must have spoke against our reparations claim. They done told us, they work so hard, but they can't even build up their homeland. Their homeland in shambles. And they sitting up here wanting us to put the cape on. We're not caping for none of you groups no more. Them days are over. The Black Justice League, you want us to come together like Voltron for you? It's not happening. You can hold your own chalupa, hold your own burrito, hold your own taco. Like Felix Perino said, that's y'all problem. We not dealing with it. We got our own problems to deal with. FBA, we need to continue to stand firm against this invasion, because that's what it is, that these Democrats allowed to happen. Like I said, I'm in Colorado. These motherfuckers gonna allow these motherfuckers just flood everything. The jobs, they done bankrupted the damn health system. We in a $250 million shortfall come next year. It's budget season coming up. They already talking about all these cuts they got to make. The damn mayor of Denver, Johnson, Section 8, all of that. The mayor of Denver talking about he was down to get arrested for the illegals. Well, Tom Homan come lock his ass up. And now he talking back, talking about we just gonna duck our head and hope that ICE don't come and investigate us. No, man, you said that you was down to get arrested for these goddamn illegal immigrants. We done had over 50,000 of them flood the job market out here. I got several brothers and sisters that tell me every single day they can't get a job because these goddamn illegals is taking over the jobs. And then when they do get on, they only hire their own. They won't hire you if you don't speak no Spanish. And even if you do speak Spanish, if you're black, they're not going to hire you. So, like I said, they can hold their own.
Even in Denver, the same story as LA, man. Thanks for giving us a call.
Denver.
I got a few more calls, but thanks for giving us a call. Same story in Denver as it is in LA, man. All around the world, same song. That's why if they want to come, if that's how it's gonna be, then I'm gonna be sitting back, flow like a harpoon, playing some Ice Baby. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Aisha.
Hey, what's on your mind?
From North Carolina.
What's on your mind?
Okay, so I feel like when you're sitting on a couch, you have to vote for a team. So basically, there's a war between the Mexicanos and the white supremacists. I think, although they're both detrimental to the FBA community, I think the Mexicanos, I don't think they stand a chance in hell. But we need to be fully aware of the fact that they are more poisonous to us because they have a total disregard for us. And because of their numbers, they want to completely annihilate and replace us. We're white supremacists, at least they find us entertaining. You know, they want somebody to kind of be able to punch down on. But the Hispanics really don't want us here. So if in the dynamic of, I guess, voting for one or the other, I would be on the side of the white supremacists. What do you think?
I'm not against it. Look, I more so sit back and don't go either way. But I'm not want to tell other people what they should do. But for me, I don't have anything against that point of view either, because at the end of the day, we know that the white supremacists, and this is the part that people do not like to mention. For those of us black Americans that have been here since before the times of slavery, we all got white cousins. We don't like the motherfuckers, don't fuck with them. But when you go back far enough in that yearbook, that family reunion, somebody's granddaddy, great-great-granddaddy had white kids and black kids. And we ain't necessarily proud of that great-great-grandfather. But facts are facts. You know what I mean? And they're more American. Yeah. And we are more politically and ideologically in the line. Because black people are conservatives, for the most part. You know what I mean? We're more ideologically in alignment with these people. And the number two part of that is they are the enemy that we see. We can deal with the enemy that we see. Black people, with the issue that we've been having, we have an enemy that we don't see. And that's the liberal white. We're starting to see the liberal white now. But that's the people coming in that want to replace us, people that look like us, that want to be us. And they are oftentimes far more devious because we don't see them. The Mexicans here in LA, right? They came in innocent and cool. 25 years ago, we had the construction jobs, the city jobs, the county jobs, and that shit. They told us to go to college, and while we wasn't going to college, they just came smooth. And then you look up like, yo, what the fuck? There were no news reports.
Right.
There was no special LA Times articles on this shit. There was nothing notifying you what's going on. You just apply for a job one day with your college degree, and then 5 years later, you still applying for a job with your college degree, but you see people that can't even speak English getting a job that requires your college degree.
Exactly. Okay, thank you for letting me speak, sir.
Thanks for giving us a call.
Yes, sir.
That's why y'all got to go to DewanB.com and get your shirt right now. Black people don't owe anybody anything but an ass whooping. You need to go to DewanB.com right now /shop and get your t-shirt. Black people don't owe anybody anything but an ass whooping. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, how's it going? My name is Ja. I'm calling from Brooklyn, New York.
Ja from Brooklyn, New York. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I wanted to say I'm listening to your show. Great show. I wanted to say I'm in love with what's going on. I see Black Americans, right? Foundational Black Americans getting on code, one ideology, where we're starting to unify, so to speak, in a way where we're not allowing ourselves to get caught up in other people's fights. We're recognizing how all these others had no regard for us, and they seen themselves as our enemies, and we didn't see that for a long time. They see themselves as our enemies.
They see themselves as our enemies, right?
Yes, we didn't see that. We are looking for we were looking for camaraderie with these people all along. They see themselves as our enemies. So we look at it just from an immigrant standpoint. They look at us and say, "Hey, these guys are the premier minority in America." All of the things that in this country that people have that's not part of the ruling class only have it because of us. So if they move us to the side, they get our presence, our gifts. They replace us, they get what they're looking for, right? So now that they have to hold their own nuts, as we like to say, right? They don't have a leg to stand on. So if we continue this way of thinking and make this way of thinking pervasive in everything we do, we don't have to do anything, and they're just going to lose.
You're right about that.
We don't have to argue for them. We don't have to argue for them. We don't have to fight for them. And anything we do politically, socio-economically, make sure we do it for us and us alone. That's all I got to say.
Real talk, man. Thanks for giving us a call.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Do it for us. Do it for us. See, that person that called it earlier was like, okay, when do we fight? I'll tell you when we fight. We fight when we have a fighter on our hands. Like I got to say it right now, we just had 300,000 black women get laid off between February and April. We still got an IEP issue. We still got children that are getting forced into special education that are totally fine, that are getting disenfranchised and not even given a chance before they start. We got children being forced on the medication, like the caller said earlier, just because they waddle in their leg and they don't want to pay attention to a boring ass teacher. They getting put on on a cocktail of drugs at 7. We got that fight to deal with. We got gentrification to deal with. Black people have no shortage of fights on many fronts that we could be fighting for. Reparations, you choose. But choose you. That's what you fight for. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Dewan B, man, it's D, man. It's your boy, man, from L.A., man.
What's up, D, man? What's up, brother?
Yeah, man, I just real quick, man, that old jigaboo-ass caller that you had that called first in, man, hey, man, he need to stop that, man. He don't even really know the displacement out here that they did to us in L.A., man. We all scattered around all the place, man. You got a college degree, I don't. Nigga, so I know it's triple times hard for me to get a goddamn job. You understand what I'm saying? And the goddamn job I got, it's minimized. It ain't no $40 or $50 an hour job. So that old jigaboo shit you talking, bro, man, sit your Sambo ass down, man. We smashing down here in the LA, man. We ain't playing no games with these motherfuckers, man. They been vitriolic and they been up there undermining us on these goddamn jobs, bro. And another thing, man, you need to tell Smack, man, from back on Fig podcast, is some of these dudes out here in Sanborn, they down there downtown LA, all up in their goddamn business, and then some of them goddamn fools up there got their motherfucking face all up against the wall, getting arrested behind their bullshit. That ain't our goddamn fight, nigga. I'm out here in LA, nigga. We going through this bullshit with these motherfuckers. We gonna keep on fighting and keep on smashing. We ain't playing with these motherfuckers. Take their ass home, go build up your homeland. You understand what I'm saying? And we gonna stay on black business, man. FBA, be going. I'm out.
Real talk, dog. Yeah, it's like don't nobody respect nobody that don't respect themselves. Don't nobody respect a group of people that do not respect themselves. And part of self-respect is standing up for yourself. It's a major part of self-respect. And if you want to fight for everybody else and not yourself, you ain't got no self-respect. What's up, Carter? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Dewan? It's Corey from D.C.
Corey from D.C. What's on your mind?
Hey, real quick, I ain't gonna keep you long, but you see in the news or whatever, they show the police out there, and Trump got the army about to come out there, whatever, the Marines. Do you think they still lenient on them people just because of how they look? You feel what I'm saying? Because I know if it was us out there, it may be some legs flying.
Man, they lenient as hell. They're very lenient. They're not. I was saying when this was happening, I was like, man, they lucky Chief Daryl Gates ain't still alive. The shit that I've seen the police do to black people that protest out here is a crime against humanity. So
and plus,
go ahead.
Plus what you were saying, you said it's like 55% of them on the police force are Mexican or some sort of Latino heritage. You feel what I'm saying? So of course they probably gonna look at them like, hey, these are folks, so we ain't gonna go too hard on them. That's what I'm thinking.
Some of them. You also have the other kind of Mexicans that be like, well, I'm here. They Mexicans have their own fight. They hate each other. You're a wetback. You're an American. That's why Oscar De La Hoya was never fully accepted by the Mexican community as a boxer because he was born here in America. So, you know what I mean? So they got their own fights. It's like that scene on Boys in the Hood. You think you tough. Like Cube said, sometimes black police officers showing off for the white cop. So you got both. You got some that are lenient, and you got other ones who they hate themselves too. So you got both dynamics going on at the same time.
Okay, I appreciate the time.
Let's give us a call. Yeah. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, man. What's up, man?
Nothing much was on your mind.
Yeah, I was just saying, man. Trump, man, he just unchecked all the time. It's only a matter of time before he starts deporting unlawful citizens and whoever the fuck he feel like.
Yeah. Trump. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just can't believe the route that this country is going, man. I just don't know why they voted for this man at the end of the day.
That means you got to get a better understanding of how this country is. Donald Trump represents this country perfectly. Donald Trump is the United States of America. He is and always has been the prevailing dominant thought and ideology of the United States of America. He is it's just that the media and our school system has been lying to folks saying that, oh, we're the shining country on the hill. No, the fuck we ain't. This is a degenerate nation run by degenerates. Now we got a degenerate in office showing everybody what it's always been.
You ain't lied yet. That's a fact. Dwan, you hit it right on the nail, man.
Yes, sir, man. Thanks for giving us a call.
All right.
Yeah, Trump is a degenerate. The same way Biden was a degenerate. Biden had all of his fucking kids on drugs. His own son calling him a pedo Joe in that laptop. your own kids don't like you. You look like a fucking liver spot. President Bush was a drunk dickhead. Fucking alcoholic. A country hick alcoholic was George Bush. Ronald Reagan was an actor that he and his wife was more interested in sex, more into sexual escapades than running the country. Then Bush Senior, for the most part, was running the country, while Ronald Reagan's wife was getting flipped like goddamn Diddy's girlfriend Cassie. The real Cassie is Nancy Reagan. Go look up that dick sucking bitch. What's up, Carl? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Was goody. I'm humble, calling out of Harlem. Now I wanted to touch up on the '92 incident compared to now. Now I'm hearing like a lot of these people try to say, yo, the '92 is compared to now. Like number one, I think our situation can't be compared to that because it was a built up situation. You know, it was like anger built up from like the Rodney King and I think the girl was name was
Natasha
Natasha
Harlot.
that got Natasha Harlot and also OJ RP to OJ Simpson, and all that was a build up and a build up that led up, and also we all knew what was happening across America with police brutality against our people, and that was a build up, and that's why that popped off. This is just pure illegal pure illegal ignorance.
Yeah, what
I
it
just want to
is,
say,
like,
like, so the people.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm glad you brought up the whole 92 points because I do want to give that point of view, then I'll let you finish. 92, 92 was a buildup that started in the when the crack war started, when they dumped crack in our community. You gotta realize in the 70s there was no ghettos in LA in the 70s. There were no ghettos in the 60s. The ghettos
I
came
seen
in
the
the 80s.
documentaries.
It was hoods, it
Right.
was poor places, but it weren't ghetto. They didn't become ghetto until they moved them jobs, exported them jobs, and then brought in crack. So it was a
Right.
buildup. You had Chief Daryl Gates had a tank, and that tank would come knock people's houses in if they suspected them of dealing drugs. They weren't even getting the actual drug dealer most of the time. And so it was a buildup of all that tension, us asking, and then Latasha Harlins is when it happened. Then so Rodney King, it was a spark, and it was a major thing. The Mexicans were sitting pretty just 4 months ago. They were fine. They
It sure was.
no complaints. You had Ryan Garcia saying nigger, 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 rake George Floyd up and kill him again. That was good. This is just pomp and circumstance, but please, let's be clear. This is being pushed by the Democrats. I'm watching the local news here every day, and I'm seeing the way they're covering it. They have 100 people out here on one fucking block, and they're treating this shit as if it's a real thing. No, it's not. It's a handful of people out there in a couple areas that nobody who don't live in those areas don't go, and downtown don't nobody live there. It's in areas that ain't affecting nobody, and it's the media making a big old thing that out of really some of the kind of the lamest ass shit that I done seen. But go ahead, Carter. Go ahead and finish off what you want to say.
Yeah. So also so for them like to try to compare us to us like I was saying like they illegal. So not to say like mom said like that they illegal so they really have no rights. Like our situation was domestic terrorists for real. Like we are the first people in this nation to be to witness domestic terrorism. Like and I'm unlanded with that.
Real
Peace
talk,
out.
man. Thanks for giving us a call.
All right.
Yeah, the first time bombs were dropped from the sky was in Tulsa, Black Wall Street. Man, please. Ain't all that they talking about, man, this is big old. No, it's not. People minding their own goddamn business out here. Business as motherfucking usual. Okay? We had a good police chase last night that I put up on, that went past my house. I was watching that shit on my phone like, oh shit, they coming near me. Nigga, that's what we was doing. What's up, Carter? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Salute Dewan, man. It's Kendrick from New Orleans, man.
Kendrick from New Orleans, what's on your mind?
Man, salute to you, brother, man. I heard you, like, you talking about, like, you brought in boxing on it. Boxing is very interesting because with Mexicans and us, it's very specific because they always push the black and brown thing. They make, like, they hate us, really. If you want to get called anything but a child of God, start talking about boxing to a Mexican, and they will talk to you crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy, like, all this going on, but now all of a sudden now we're friends? Like, nah, fuck out of here. No, we're not. Nowhere near close. Like, they hate us. It's a superiority complex with them, really, with us.
Yes, we're not friends. Like, and thing is, like, we have a very humane point of view. Black people are cool with who's ever cool with us. What we don't understand is that's not how other people see us. And I'm still cool with Mexicans on an individual level. You know what I mean? I'll never not be. I'm always going to have, there's nothing to hate. So I'm like, not saying they're nothing, but I mean, there's like, they cool. It's like, there's no reason for me to have anything really negative to say because at the end of the day, for what? It doesn't mean anything. So, but we got to understand that others don't necessarily see us that way.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
But it's how they are, man. If it's against us, it's always gonna be something. But for them to be like, come out here and be like, oh man, well they're coming after you next, it's like, nah, that's bullshit. Like, why do we have to get lumped in with y'all when if it's something for y'all, like we're not getting nothing. But that's how they are, man. It's nothing new.
Nothing new, my dog, man. Thanks for giving us a call.
Gotcha.
Ain't nothing new. See, that's the thing. You don't hear black people going around saying, man, we got to keep our women from Mexican guys. No, if they want to fuck a Mexican, go fuck them. I don't give a fuck. But we hear y'all, don't bring those mayates around here. Yeah, that's y'all word. Yeah, that's y'all word. I done heard that. Don't bring that mayate around here. Oh, wait, what are you doing? What is that mayate doing with Cynthia Holmes? You don't do no fucking weird shit like that. If Cynthia want to date a Mexican, go right the fuck ahead. You ain't got no special word for y'all. I tried to answer your call, caller. It didn't, so I guess you hung up. So call back. Nigga, we really don't be tripping. We really don't be tripping. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Jacoby from Portland, Oregon. How you doing, man?
Jacoby from Portland. What's on your mind?
Nothing much, man. I just caught towards the end of it, but a lot of people calling in playing dumb. Oh, I don't know why they voted. Well, ask the sisters from Chicago Turns Red up in Chicago why they did. You know, ask Gavin Newsom. They brought this all on themselves.
Yeah.
And what they were trying to do with they did in California, because I remember the Boyle Heights, because I think Phil Scott, he brought that up when during Biden's administration, and how they got ran up out of there. And so a lot of people moved to Chicago, moved back down to the South. So it was a fight for survival. It was a fight for FBAs for their survival. So, you know, a lot of people dodged the bullet with Kamala. And I'm not saying Trump is any better. That's not what I'm pointing at. What I'm pointing is there's a pendulum swing that goes back and forth. When you go too far, so far to the left that you don't question anything, then something is wrong with you. And if you're not getting nothing out of it, something is definitely wrong with the person's ideology. So basically what you're saying, it's okay just to let 20-some million people that worked, that didn't have to go through the proper channels? That's not what I'm saying. No, that is what you're saying. You're saying to exterminate my extinction. And
right.
And the sisters from people from Sisters from Chicago Turns Red just wasn't having it. They didn't want to go red. That's been a Democrat state for in that county for a long time. But Brandon Johnson was showing his ass, and the sisters showed their ass right back. And so people just not having it. And so I'll land with this: I rock with people who rock with me. That's how I look at it too. I'm cool with people who cool with me, but I'm not jumping on this bandwagon. And nobody should be jumping on this bandwagon. And I said, like I said, for Afro Elite, Maxine Waters is breaking her damn neck out here. But let me ask the question: who voted for that crime bill? Someone needs to ask about her record. And Dewan, please, brother, I do not get none of your notifications now because it's still on child mode.
Yeah, they shadow ban me. I got it. I don't know what's going on. They've been shadow banning me. Every time when my videos be getting, whenever they grow up, they just every couple months they do that bullshit, man. So unsubscribe and resubscribe.
I did, brother. All right.
All right, man. Thanks for giving us a call. Yeah, a lot of y'all y'all ain't getting my notifications. It's like that, you know how YouTube is. You know, when they see a brother talking about something that's not that bullshit, they want to do what they got to do. Whatever. Unsubscribe and resubscribe if you're not getting your notifications. That's how they get down. Carl, you there? I guess they hung up.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, what's up, Carl? What's up, Carl? 1 second, Carl. 1 second. Starting at the end of this month, I got my Black American Music Family Tree Summer School for the youth. And for adults, if you want to be a part of it too, but this is going to be youth-focused, teaching the history of Black American music, the musicians, the instruments, and the legacy, and how that leads into where we are right now. This class is 5 weeks for the summertime for the youth. Make sure you sign up right now at dewanb.com. The link is pinned in the chat and also in the description. What's up, Carter? What's the name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's good, Dewan? This is Kima out of Omaha, Nebraska.
Kima out of Omaha. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, the same thing that's going on over in California and everywhere else is going on over here. It's probably not just as extreme, but one thing that's really grinding my gears about it is how you got other FBA folks out here putting on the cape like they the Black Justice League for these folks.
He said the Black Justice
really
League.
Annoying. I literally seen a post today where somebody said, "Oh, Mexicans work 100 times more than my people." I'm like, how can you sit up here and put a whole other group of people who don't even like your people over your own? Like, for whatever reason, Omaha, it's known as the Blue Dot because it's predominantly Democrat. They just elected a Democrat mayor, Ewing Jr., and I can already see it, man. He's about to turn my city into a complete anarchy. Mm-hmm. He's already trying to put stuff in place for the illegals who already got swooped up. They did a raid over here at a meat packing plant. They scooped up about 80 of them just in one day, and I don't see this getting any better. As a matter of fact, if anybody out there from Omaha listening, I think it's going to get worse.
Also, yeah,
and I'm just laying with that.
That's what they're trying to do, man. Thanks for giving us a call.
Yep.
Yeah, no, you're right. You see, it's callers. Are y'all paying attention? Every caller, whether it be the brother from Chicago, this brother from Omaha, Virginia, we've had all four corners of the nation call in today to say the same things are happening where they are. LA is just the beta test. I'm only here to show you what it looks like 25, 30 years later. You guys are probably where we were in the late 90s. Heed what I'm saying and make the proper moves wherever you are. What's up, caller? What's the name? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Washington, D.C.
D.C., what's on your mind?
Yeah, I just had a quick point. I don't think any of us could have envisioned the things that are going on today with the immigration, how quickly it's happening. And a lot of us has wanted something to be done about it. But the way it's been done, a lot of us don't agree with. But it's like the title of your show, it's not our fight. And this fight is bigger than Trump, it's bigger than the nation. This is a seed that was sown years ago, and it came up in order for the transformation to come back into the black community. This nasty thing has to be removed. And the way they came in, that was our reparations right there, that they wanted to go to them. But because it wasn't done right, it didn't go the way they planned.
Mm-hmm.
So what I believe when I'm looking at the big picture is that I think reparations is bigger than it. Like I said, it's bigger than the politicians. It's bigger than this. Something that the Almighty has to do, and He can choose whomever He wants to do in order to get it done, because it has to get done. And Bob Johnson had given out in 2019, had written an article, or I think it's on his website, about 14 that the United States should pay about 14.7 trillion in reparations to African Americans, descendants of slaves. It comes out to be about $400,000 per individual, African American descendant of slave. And in conclusion, I believe that even though he would not want to do it, it would fall in his favor. Reparations can only come through Donald J. Trump. Why? Because if you put $400,000 in every African American hand, what will we do? We will spend and we will stimulate the economy. And as much as the Democratic Party, I grew up in Memphis. And I see what they're trying to do in Memphis. The Democrats using black pawns to try to take down this new black mayor that we got, but they're using black people to do it. I think that reparations is going to come through Donald Trump, and it's going to be very, very shocking, and the Democratic Party will never, ever exist again after that, because black people will leave the Democratic Party.
That's a very interesting point of view. I'm not going to discount it. I got a few more calls lined up, but thanks for that, man.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, have a blessed.
That's interesting. I'm never going to say reparations. I'm never going to say put a negative energy out there towards reparations and say where it's not going to come from. The brother makes a point. I didn't think about it that way. I'm just going to let that shit ride. What's up, Carter? What's the thing where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, DeJuan? My name's Mike, long-time listener. I'm calling in from St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis, what's on your mind?
Hey, man, what I want to tell you is this. Like, I heard the brother up there talking about Nebraska. Hold on, I'm going to get in. I'm at the car wash. I heard the brother talking about Nebraska. Now, you know Missouri is a red state, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, St. Louis and Kansas City are the two Democratic big areas in Missouri, although the rural areas outvote St. Louis and Kansas City, making it a red state. I live in the outskirts of St. Louis, kind of like, right? It's a red area. So basically, I think both parties are in on it, because out where I live, where it's supposed to be so strong, nationalism, MAGA, there is nothing but Hispanics. When I go to Walmart, these Hispanics, it's like a woman with 2 or 3 kids. She got one on her arm, one probably around 7 or 8, and then she pregnant. Her husband,
Yeah, she
got
probably
a
got
big bankroll.
I'm telling you, it's like what my grandfather used to say. You got, when he used to be walking down the street, you had 2 walking next to the grocery cart, 2 in the grocery cart, and 2 on the way.
Yeah. So I think like they are all in. They all complicit. Although Trump, he's ingenious. He's making the Dems like the poster child for this, which I think there was no way that those NGOs and all that bull stuff that happened could have gotten through without the Republicans turning a blind eye.
Of course.
I'm not helping no damn. I'm not speaking up for no freaking no Mexican or Hispanic, because they never had our back. I'm a big boxing fan myself. And
you watch boxing, so you know what it is.
Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez with they racist asses.
De La Hoya.
And, De La Hoya, yeah. So I'm just saying, my brothers and sisters, please do not fall for that Democratic bullshit and get on their bandwagon talking about we next. We are not next. We're fucking American. We FDA to the day we die. And I'll just land my plane there.
I appreciate that, dog. He brings up a really good point. He just brought up a really good point about that I want to address about both sides being in on it. Yes, you got to realize most of the wealthy elite are Republicans. and the rest of the wealthy elite are Democrats, and they switch sides depending on what's most convenient. Remember, Elon Musk was Mr. Democrat back in 2014. He hated Trump. Like what Neely Fuller says, they changed parties in political uniforms like the way LeBron James changed his teams. Think of these politicians and think about these people fighting as LeBron. They gonna be on a team, and when this team starts to wear thin and get old and not look like it's gonna win another championship, I'm gonna cut and I'm gonna go to somewhere else that looks like it's gonna win. Kyrie coming up, Kevin Love is coming up. Boom, I'm going there. Oh shit, the Lakers got a bunch of young talent that they can trade away. I'm going there. And then when it's time for them to all sit back and retire, they do what LeBron do. Come around and just stack up numbers. Stat pad. Let's run these numbers up. Let's run our pockets up. That's what these political parties are. They switch teams. They switch teams. You see everything through sports. They switch teams. They don't care. Like, the Republicans want them over here. Look, let me tell y'all something. If they wanted to end illegal immigration, this is what they do. They go to every company, every corporation hiring them, and they fine the shit out of them for every single illegal immigrant working that field. So if it's 100 illegals out there working, that's a $50,000 fine per immigrant. Illegal immigration to be over like, they call those people to come here it all works together, to undercut the price of labor. The price of labor goes up. People want things, people get comfortable here. Think about this, black people. The Mexicans have been working those jobs they say we don't want since the 50s in them fields. Given the fact that they be having 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 kids, after a certain point, if it was just about another race of people doing the jobs, wouldn't they still be able to close off the border and just have the children of those cherry pickers pick cherries too? No, they don't do that. Why? Because the children of the cherry pickers aren't going to pick no fucking cherry. They're going to send them kids off to school, or they're going to get a different kind of job. And those kids that were now born and raised in America, they now been watching all the Disney commercials, all the TV shows. They got all the opulence, all the rap videos with the holes in the clothes. The kids want that too. So the kids ain't gonna work for what daddy worked for. So what do they have to do? They gotta displace this current crop of immigrants with a new crop of immigrants, because this new crop of immigrants wasn't raised with American exceptionalism, American propaganda, and bring them in. It's a constant flow, because the immigrants that were raised here, they're not going to handle that stuff either. Black people, do not let them shame you into saying that they work jobs that we won't. No, they work jobs that other Mexicans that's been here for more than one generation won't work. Nobody who's been in this country for more than a generation is going to work for those wages. The trucking system, all of that shit. Undercut the wages. Wake Up America says it's all set up. Don't join them because they'll put us in a clink. First facts, right? Stay safe, folks. You're right about that. Stay motherfucking safe. DSB, Damn Republican work hard, hand in hand against the black community. Right. These people work with each other, man. Fuck them. They play good cop, bad cop. It's not our fucking business. You know what I mean? Let them play their good cop, bad cop, whatever. But they both want them here. If they wanted to end immigration again, they would fine the corporations. Look, they would end it the same way they ended child labor. When America decided that child labor was against the law, they came with heavy fines to companies that hired children. Now, to this day, you can't have 14-year-olds working anywhere, not because 14-year-olds are unwilling to work, because there's laws against it that are enforced. They do not enforce laws against illegal immigrants on corporations. That right there is a sign that you know that this is what they want. All this fight we see is a whole bunch of hogwash. I heard Tom Homan earlier today said that they arrested like 100 people last week. All this shit for 100 people? Really? 100 people? It's way more than 100 undocumented. You can go down to the motherfucking factory and find 100 undocumented in one fucking department. They want this. Let them have it. All right. And now you got people like see, this is what I'm in with right here. This is what I'm in with right here. This is why we got to stay out of it. I put this up as a tweet yesterday. Is it still up? Let me see. Where is it? Ryan Garcia, the boxer that spent all day saying nigger, 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 nigger. I don't like niggers. I'm anti-black. Trump 2024. Look at him now. I may have voted for Trump, but I can't stay silent about what's happening with ICE in LA. These aren't just illegals or statistics, they're people. Now Ryan Garcia is fighting for the illegals, even though he voted for Trump. And when he wasn't with Trump, remember this what he said. This was this past January in a Twitter space called, the specific Twitter space was called Trump 2024. He said, I hate niggers. I'm anti-black. Nigger, nigger, nigger. I'm KKK. I hate niggers. Hey, let's go bring George Floyd back to life and kill that nigger again. That's what Ryan Garcia said. Out of his own mouth in his Twitter space that was pro-Trump. Now he's saying, I can't stay silent for what Trump is doing. This is why we stay the fuck out this right face thing right here. And anybody got an issue with us staying out of it, you go talk to Ryan Garcia and you get him on code before you fucking talk to me. All right? Patreon, we're going to do a special show on AI music pretty soon, Patreon. So go join the Patreon right now. I got a show on AI that I want to do where we play some music. Tap in. The phone number's right here, 323-744-7425. That's how you tap in. Or you can email me, info@dewannb.com. I'm about to get up out of here now, but you can email me, info@dewannb.com. Phone number is right over there. The Cash App is $DewanB1 if you want to be a part of that. But we did not ask for this. Both sides, this is their dance, this is their tango. Let them walk it out. They can walk it out all day. Walk it out, walk it out, walk it out, walk it out. That's how walk it out. He said walk it out. That's what they can do right now. They can walk it out. All right? Thank y'all again for listening. I got some Ryan Garcia fans in here. Well, fuck y'all too. All right? My name is Dewan. We out.